So hello everyone, thank you very much for coming to this Q&A session today. My name is Shona Elliott. I am the lead curator for art and I work for Aberdeen Archives, Gallery and Museums. Myself and Jenna Rose, who you can see there on the screen. Jenna is the curator. We will be leading on this Micro Commissions scheme. Now we are also joined by another couple of colleagues today. You can see Madeline there in the yellow jumper. Yeah. And Rachel. Madeline is our team leader for collections. And then we also have Rachel, who is our learning manager. I'm just going to go over the basics really today. We're going to cover the creative brief and some of the key bits of information from there. I'm also going to give a demo of searching our collections online for you, and we'll also cover some of the past commissions to give you a taster of what this is all about. So for those of you who don't know, this is our third round of micro commissions. We were really lucky to win Museum of the Year a couple of years ago, and we received some funding from that enabled us to run micro commissions. Now, the Friends of Aberdeen Archives, Gallery and Museums, you can see Catherine there on screen representing them. They are very kindly funding us to keep micro commissions going for a few years, and that's a really fantastic opportunity for us as well as the local creative community. We have put together the brief, and hopefully you've seen that. I believe most of you have contacted me and I've sent the brief through, but just to highlight the main points really. We are looking for commissions which cover your lived experience in Aberdeen, and it should link to or expand on our existing museum collection. So that's our collection of art and history. That's Aberdeen Archives, Gallery and Museums collection, and we are part of Aberdeen City Council. We do want the micro commissions to stimulate engagement and dialogue about our collections. Submissions should respond to the collection, creating new works that relate to the existing collection objects and themes, or alternatively highlight gaps that are within the current collection. We have listed some themes that we're particularly interested in. They are social justice, climate change, identity, diversity, migration, well-being and representation. We have put an application deadline on as the 4th of January, and there is a 12-week period to create the commission, and we would expect to see that commission delivered in May. So that's the essence of it, and of course there's some money that goes along with this commission. We are hoping to award 2,500 for one commission and 2 lots of 1,000 for the other 2. Now, obviously we've said we want works to be inspired by our collection, so it really helps if you know something about our collection. I'm going to show you how you can find out more about us. I'm going to share my screen here. You're going to see yourselves very briefly. Here we have our website, and if you go to collections and browse, you'll see some hints on how to browse our collection, but also this big pink button that you can click on. This takes you to our collections, which we have records for our items online. So you can search for whatever appeals to you, general keywords. I'm just typing in love. So lots and lots of items there connected to love. We don't have images for all, but that's work in progress, but we do have lots of objects in our collection. So that's one way of searching, just doing a general search. You can also see lots of pre-made lists, packages where you can search items that might be of interest to you. So if sculpture particularly jumps out, you can click on sculpture and you've got an option to view all the works in the sculpture selection. You scroll through and you can see lots of images. Certainly when it comes to artworks, we do have quite a lot of the images online. And there are also collection highlights if you just want little sneak peeks into those areas. So they're really good as a source of inspiration. You can alternatively search for people or institutions. And if you see, I'll scroll down, you'll see what I mean by that. So here we have some of the people in our collection, and they're all ordered here alphabetically. Alternatively, you can search by exhibitions. This is particularly useful for the gallery, the Aberdeen Art Gallery. We have all of our small exhibitions within the art gallery are all online here. So for instance, Gallery 7, Exploring Art, is one of our regular galleries. And you can go explore those items. Click on About Me, and they'll tell you about the items. So that's quite a good way if certainly something has caught your eye in the art gallery. There's also advanced search options. Another thing you may like to do is go and explore our virtual tours. So if you go to Museum from Home, you can go and click on virtual tours, and you'll see we have got some options there. You can explore Aberdeen Art Gallery, and you can also explore the Maritime Museum. So if there are some history items there that appeal to you, I recommend going and exploring those. So that was a very brief introduction to the collection. Of course, we've also got lots of knowledge in our heads, and we're very happy to speak to you in person. Please feel free to get in touch, particularly with me and Jenna, and ask us questions about the collections if you've got something in mind. Previous commissions, we've had a few now, which has been fantastic. They have been a variety of creative submissions. So we have had a music composition, a hand-woven textile, some pieces of pottery, some oil paintings, poetry. We have had a spoken word performance and some jewellery. So we really are interested and open to ideas when it comes to that definition of creative. That's my formal blurb done. So I'm handing it over now to people who are attending to see if you have any questions, and we'll see if we can help answer them. You can, oh yes, Helen, go for it.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry I'm late.
Not a problem. Does anyone have any questions about the process? Robert, you're raising your hand.
Hi, Shona. Thanks so much.
Hi there.
Yeah, I'm kind of, well, it's a personal question. It was relative to myself. May help the others. I'm not sure. In terms of some of your film archives, because I'm a filmmaker, is there facility to digitize some of the old film? Do you have facilities for that in your organizational setup, or would I need to organize that myself?
I'm looking to other colleagues. I think Madeline, do you want to answer that one?
Hi, Robert. Good question. Obviously, we would be able to provide access for you, but for anything cost related to the commission, you need to factor that into the amount of the award you might be successful in attaining. So I think it's really key to stress at this stage that when we are assessing applications, we're looking for a really robust budget, and also to be very honest, if people are saying in their applications, "Oh, I've got a friend who can do that," or "I can get access to that for free," you know, that sort of thing, we're kind of less inclined to support because other people wouldn't have that same opportunity. So the ask is that anything you propose can be funded within the Micro Commission award, and that very much includes your own time as well. So take a lead from the word Micro Commission, kind of quick, fast response, short period of time, and we're really looking to see that everything, as I'll stress again, including your time, is budgeted for within that award.
Yeah, so for example, just come back to the film thing for a second. Thank you for all that. Yeah, appreciate it.
No worries, no worries.
So for instance, if it was if you had some film and it was in a can, an old-fashioned film, I'd have to digitize that and then use it. I'd have to factor that in myself. It wouldn't be something you would be doing for me, and then I'd be receiving a digital file. I'd have to sort of do all that. Would that be right?
Absolutely, because then there'd be an additional cost to us that we wouldn't be necessarily, wouldn't be able to give to the other awardees.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, but there's plenty that already is digitized. So as Shona said earlier, if you're interested in something in particular and you can't get those answers via the eMuseum, get in touch with the team here and we can certainly kind of help guide your choice and hopefully help find you the right source of inspiration.
Sure.
That's also cost effective.
Yeah, well, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to also, as well as getting a new type of film done, you get some of your collections digitized at the same time. That's where I was kind of going with it,
Absolutely, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
but, as I said, everything needs to be costed within the award.
Yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Are there other questions that people would like to ask? Feel free to either stick up your hand physically or use the little sign. Yes, Lucia.
Hello. I just wanted to ask if it's okay to, before applying, to view the particular object that we would like to be inspired by, like if you guys have any slots in December to be able to do that. Just because I know that it might be busy, or I was just wondering if we could physically view the object before we apply, so then we could get better idea of like what the idea would be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so that makes sense. And yes, I mean, yeah, Christmas holidays are rapidly approaching and some of our staff are disappearing, but we will do our best to facilitate some visits to see the item, because I appreciate you can't beat seeing something in person. So yeah, just get in touch. You can see our contact details in the application form and we'll see what we can do.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm just going to backtrack 1 second. Catherine, I saw you flagged in the chat about intellectual property rights. So on that front, and certainly also with kind of extending into the world of copyright as well, we will be able to explain to you which works are and are not currently under copyright, and where the rights kind of start and finish. If anything that you want to do requires seeking permission, the onus is on you as the artist to seek that permission. So you need to, we'll let you know as soon as possible the lie of the land, but in that research and development time, you need to factor in seeking permissions. That responsibility would sit with you, but we can certainly give you guidance on the process and what you need to do there. But again, stress the word micro, kind of quick response, short period of time. So really let these things around kind of budget, cost, permissions, making the selection, really let those things guide you in the choices that you make. Don't set yourself an uphill struggle.
Just while we're on the copyright, I mean, I work in film, creative film, so I'm quite used to copyright and permission, things like that. But in terms of the finished product, the finished thing, I was a bit just slightly perplexed at the advice sheet about in terms of what the creator is allowed to do with that item once it's done. Because I took it that it's all rights would be with the, is it called the Creative Partnership, if I got that right?
The creative practitioner. So the rights, yeah. you will have the rights.
Yes.
And if as we take ownership of the work, we have a kind of a copyright permission form, so which says we would like permission to use your work in an exhibition, or potentially in promoting the collection, or in educational activities, and we ask that you would sign that permission
Okay.
for us.
I
And
think,
then
yeah.
if we wanted to use your work for anything in addition, we would then come back to you as the copyright holder. So you hold the rights to the finished product.
I think the way you've got it worded, it kind of comes across the other way around, to be honest. It comes across.
Well, that's good to know. That's good
Yeah,
to know. As
because-
Shona said, this is round number 3. We're still
Oh,
learning.
yeah,
So
because-
these sessions help.
What you've just said, there's pretty much the standard. That's what would normally
Yeah.
happen. But it just
And we've managed to complicate it.
yeah, no, it just came. It read the actual reverse of what you just said, to be honest. So you might, yeah. But no, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. That clears it up. Thank you for that.
It's always worth keeping an eye on our social media pages as well, because we're regularly showcasing items from our collections on social media and through various blogs and so on.
I don't know if it might be worth kind of just talking through, when Shona was talking about the idea of the micro commissions being a kind of a response to the collections and help us develop the collections. One of the criteria she gave was that you might want to respond to what you see as a gap in the collection. I didn't know if it was everybody clear on what that might mean, or does it conjure up some idea in your head as to like a missing box or an empty shelf or something, and we're asking you to fill it? What we're kind of meaning is, from the idea of your lived experience of Aberdeen, if you look at our collections, is there something that you think, well, that should be there because that matters to me, or that matters to the story of Aberdeen? Or I think I look and I go, why isn't that in Aberdeen's collection? It really ought to be. So you can build a case to add to it if you perceive that there is a gap there, because we don't presume to know everything that should be in the collection. It's something that is constantly developing, and the micro commissions give us an opportunity to keep that development happening. So is everybody happy with what a gap is? Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, like, because I don't know if this is something that is like applicable for the, so for example, like the gap meaning, I have an idea of like upcycling wedding dress that was donated to me from somebody in Aberdeen. And I have seen that you have a huge collection of the wedding dress. And I was wondering if there is any particular dress that is that has been worn in Aberdeen. And I don't know if this is like a feasible idea that would like be worth of the commission. I just was not sure, like if yeah, sorry, this is like very early stages. I'm not sure if I'm making any sense.
So are you talking about taking inspiration from a dress in the collection?
Yes, but also the material that I'm using is from somebody who lives in Aberdeen who wore the dress, but because I could basically translate the design of the dress that you have in collection and create like a inspired dress by the one that you have from your collection. Like it would not be like obviously exactly the same copy, but there would be just a particular part of the dress that I could take as an inspiration, and then I would like to apply the climate change basically topic onto the way that I would make the dress. And
yeah, I mean, I think certainly taking something from the collection as kind of a starting point or a stepping stone to say something that you think is important and should be part of the story of the collection is a very positive way to be going. And it sounds, it doesn't sound like, it sounds like you've put some thought to it. It doesn't, I wouldn't be saying, oh, I'm at early stages. You've got the beginnings of an idea there, definitely.
I'm also, I'm quite familiar with the wedding dresses, and we definitely have wedding dresses that were worn by people from Aberdeen, and dresses that were made in Aberdeen or sold in shops on Union Street. So I'm sure there's a lot of potential inspiration in there for you. And I think I've seen the wedding dress that you own as well in your studio when I visited you, and I can see how that marries up. So.
I was just asking this question because when you guys had in your micro commission form or the brief, you have mentioned the artist who applied already, but I couldn't like visually make the connection. There was like not the picture of the actual work that they've done, but rather just their portraits of them, like the pictures of the artist. So that's why I asked this, because for me, it was harder to make that connection between the object from the collection and what the artist actually created, responding to the object. Yeah.
So we now have images of some of those previous commissions online. And I'm just going to quickly share my screen, just 2 seconds. So when you're in the micro commissions page, if you just go to our home page, you'll see a banner running along the top and it says micro commissions. You can click on there. When you go down to the bottom, if you actually click on these highlighted areas, this will take you to descriptions of the works. Now, they may not have all been photographed, but yeah, you can certainly access them. So that's a description of one of the poetry items that was there and a little bit about it. So we are adding images online there, but there's certainly more description on them. So just, yeah, go ahead and please click on the links which are there. Hopefully that'll help a bit.
I think if you're coming to the store as well, then if there's somebody's work that you would like to see, we should be able to make that accessible as well, if you want to see it in person.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any questions from anybody else? Last opportunity, but of course get in touch with us after this as well if you want. No? Well, thank you ever so much for coming today. I hope you found that useful. We look forward to hearing from you and seeing some of the submissions. And Robert, I can see you've got your hand up. Go for it.
Oh, it was just a quick thing. Yeah, in terms of when all the pieces are done and they're finished, what's kind of the plan for all the items, or is there different plans for different items? Like, so some will be physical, of course, some will be digital, some will be other things too. So maybe can you expand at this point what the plan is for the finished pieces of work?
Yes, certainly. As you've said, it very much depends on what is being offered to us. We are aspiring to put them into the museum collection. We have purposely chosen themes of interest to us which tie in with our collecting policy. We would hope to be displaying the micro commissions in some form, and again it depends on what we receive, but you know, that could be a physical display or it could be a digital display. We would certainly like to really show off our winners as well, you know, by talking about their work online. You can see we're already doing that for our previous winners for the commissions, you know, giving a bit of some paragraphs about them and also about the works that we decided to go ahead with. Great. Well, I think we will wrap up there. And as I mentioned, this recording will go online. It's been great to have you coming here today. And we'll say goodbye now. And yes, look forward to hopefully seeing some application forms from you. Okay, bye-bye.
Great to meet everyone. Bye-bye.